Howdy and welcome to Variant Roles once again. I'm your host for the evening, No Tweet Sean. This is Lost Level Part 2. Bum bum bum. So, who wants to do the recap?
Not it. Not it.
It falls to me.
It do.
So last week, we began our adventure into this delve of the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. If I recall correctly, we were essentially lured here with a promise of great riches and power, and then more or less trapped within the labyrinth that is Undermountain. So the four of us, which there was four of us initially when we began, set out trying to solve solve the labyrinth. Can you say that? I guess so. Trying to navigate the labyrinth, solve the puzzles set before us. And we kept encountering the same symbology over and over and over, which ended up being the eye belonging to one of the dwarven gods, the god of secrets. Oh shoot, what's his name? That's the one, Dumathoin. We found it on a necklace. We found it on a wall. We found it on, I believe, was it on the dwarven armor? I can't remember.
I think it was.
I think it was too. It was on the helmet. That's why Rabbi thought it was magic and tried to put it on, and it didn't do jack. Yeah, so we've been trying to navigate our way through here. We found some kind of sort of magical holographic map that showed us different rooms, and one of them had what looked like dwarves going through a library, which was very odd because dwarves are not exactly book savvy folk. And another room contained what looked like just dozens and dozens of armored soldiers. And we said, okay, well, let's not go there. So of course, the first room we went into ended up being that place. I skipped the fight completely. Holy cow. We had the option to walk away from combat and decided to be murder hobos and do the exact opposite and get into a ridiculous fight that we should not have gotten into with not one, not two, but three Umber Hulks. We made a mess out of them though. We set them on fire. We threw earth at them. One crossbow bolt hit them. And Ratbite
Thank you for that.
cut his way.
Shade.
You're welcome. Ratbite cut his way out the mouth through the butt of one of them, and has been snacking on them ever since. Besides that, sorry, that part happened before. I'm doing a terrible job of this recap. So moving forward, back to the part where we found the soldiers. We thought that maybe we could control them if we took what looked like the Dwarven Commander's armor and put it on. And the reason we could tell it was Dwarven Commander is because there was a giant faded portrait on one of the walls. So Ratbite put the helmet on thinking it would do something, didn't do anything. We had the guide strip down the statue of the Dwarven Commander. And that's when stuff got weird with the soldiers. And we're like, okay, well, all right. What are we gonna do now? And then they made some kind of stone stairway, and then if I remember right, that led us to a thing that the necklace interacted with.
Yes.
I think that was it, right? Or did I miss anything? I probably missed 17,000 things.
It's good enough.
Perfect.
You get what's going on.
Enough.
You get what's going on. The last thing that happened was Relly, your Aarakocra druid, was wearing the amulet of the symbol of Dumathoin and took her sickle, I believe?
Yes.
And was tapping on the ground next to where the statue of the commander went down into the ground. And after doing that just a few times, the symbol arced what looked like blue lightning into her sickle, which then went from her sickle into the ground, which then went through the ground in sort of a fish-like effect, up the line of the soldiers up to the triptych that was up at the top of the steps with the three portraits, and it blew open the middle one.
Ah, yes. Explosions. How could I forget?
That's the most important part.
So
and
much-
my one crossbow bolt hitting. Thank you.
Yes.
It's very important.
I forgot about the part where the guide hid in the bathtub. That feels important.
In my my defense, I shoved somebody into. I mean, come on.
Yes.
I was doing good.
I was doing good, guys. Come on.
All right, so just to kind of quickly set the scene, you're in this very large room that is full of all of these scattered weapons, armor, etc. All of these armored and armed statues of dwarven soldiers that are in a nice line as if they were all at roll call. Form this kind of hallway that leads up a set of stairs to this oversized triptych, the middle one being exploded beyond belief, and there's rubble all over the floor from it. Through that opening, you can see light.
Looks like there's light over there. Hang on just a moment, and I'm going to fly up and go look at it.
God, I hate that you can fly. Okay. When you go up there, you can see that it leads into another room. It is white marble.
There's another chamber over here, you guys.
Do you see anything in there?
Do I see anything in the chamber beyond white marble?
The way you are looking into it, you can see that that room goes into another room, but otherwise, no. It just looks like kind of like there's a room that opens up and you can't see what's on the side.
It looks like it's pretty empty. But I don't have dark vision, so you all might be able to see better.
Divrin's gonna levitate up and... Yeah, you forgot about that.
Why would you do
see if
that?
he can see.
Okay.
He's not going far, though. He's not going in just to see.
If you don't go in the room, you see the same thing because the room is well lit. If anything, it's
I
bright
cannot
to
fly
you.
or
You can't see
levitate.
well.
I'll stay right here and sit and wait.
No, Ratbite, come here. And I will
Grab
pick
grab a
up
hold-
Ratbite.
Okay. Ratbite, how much do you weigh?
380 pounds.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm a big boy.
Divrin will grab his other arm. I suppose we'll carry this. I hope he doesn't have fleas.
How big is Ratbite?
He big. He's like 6'4", just like nothing but muscle and fur and mange and yeah, fleas.
Oh,
I'll get some of that oil for you later. We just have to get
get him up.
Ratbite up there.
Make a
Stop
make a
eating
strength
so
check,
much.
both of you.
Ratbite thinks light thoughts.
Think about marshmallows.
And fluffy clouds. So an 11.
15?
Oh wow. Okay. You're having some trouble lifting this gargantuan friend of yours.
If he would stop eating so many bugs, perhaps this wouldn't be so difficult.
You get him about that far off the ground. Maybe an
Perhaps
inch.
we should leave him.
Don't think we should do that.
Take my sword and hit the wall. It's enchanted, I swear. The barrier will fall. And I'll hand over Shatterspike.
I'm not touching anything that you've had on your person.
Oh, I have an idea. Here, Ratbite. Here. Help. Here, let's put him down just for a moment.
Divrin just lets go.
Oh no!
He kind of swings a little this way, but thankfully he's not that far off the ground.
Okay. I will put him down on the ground. Okay, Ratbite. Please know that this will just be a very short-term thing. And I cast Polymorph on him.
God, dude.
Oh!
I choose to fail automatically.
Turn him into
against
an
the save.
ooze.
I turn him into a rabbit.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, this is much better. Let's go.
Eat him.
As a rabbit, I am also mangy, and my fur is matted, and the fleas are much more evident.
I will carry him because I have the oil and I can clean myself later.
That's fair.
I'll need some of that later.
Kind
I
of
would
curious
be
why you guys felt you needed to carry him, but it's fine.
I would have left him.
We can't leave him. We've already lost one. We can't lose another.
fair.
And now I will.
Besides
Slap.
myself, you're the only other intelligent being. We could have just.
Oh, that
But-
might be the nicest thing Divern's ever said.
That's very sweet. Of
In
you.
his entire existence.
That's very sweet. Of you.
Ratbite laughs in rabbit, which is just like,
Yeah.
I
Claps
don't
teeth.
know whether he agrees or disagrees. It's cute
He-
either way.
He agrees.
Well, okay, that's also very sweet of him too. So I will put Rabbit Bite on the floor
Rabbit
In-
bite. Love it.
in the new chamber. And,
Okay.
And then I will drop Polymorph on him.
I've seen spells interesting and funny. Never has magic made me a bunny.
All right. Jeez.
I preferred it when you couldn't speak.
I can't handle you people. All right. So you guys get into this white marble room. It is white marble from floor to ceiling. Very large blocks. Look like it would be extremely heavy. Or it would have been heavy. The pieces making this room would have been very heavy. On your left, there is a very obvious giant tunnel that looks really familiar to other tunnels that you've seen. What else? On your right, there are a couple of frescoes, and they are outlined by large dwarven runes. Any of you speak Dwarven?
Nope.
Let me double check. I don't think I gave him that ability. He wouldn't learn a lesser language, so probably not. No, he does not.
No one knows Dwarven. Oh boy, this will be interesting. Okay. Do any of you have an ability to comprehend languages?
I'm trying.
I was gonna say I should put that out there before I just start going. Well, you don't understand anything, so here's what you see.
Nope, I got nothing.
Everybody dies.
No.
Okay.
Everyone.
TPK, TPK.
So this is what you see. There are dwarven runes around everything. No idea what they say. As you look at them, they light up. They are surrounding frescoes. The frescoes depict a dwarf doing multiple, performing different professions. It's obviously the same dwarf, but you see him working a distillery, and you see him working with metal and smithing, and then you also see him carving out stone and forming statues, forming holes in rock, etc. And that's what you see so far. There is nothing else in this room.
This seems like a pretty impressive dwarf.
He's short.
He does fine work and has an impressive beard. Though to be depicted thusly, to say so, is quite weird.
I agree.
Is there anything? Do we sense any type of magic or anything in this room?
Not in this room.
How does the air smell? Is it stale? Is it fresh? Is there still a bit of a current at all, or is that long
So,
gone?
The room you were just in, the room was super, or the air was super stale. It seemed like nothing had been messed with. This room seems recently tampered with.
Recently tampered with. Okay.
That's concerning.
Yes.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can pick anything up in particular in the scent? If there's maybe somebody that was through here or something that was through here?
Make a nature check.
Nature check, sure.
Maybe somebody burped and you can figure out who or
That
what it
is
was.
a big fat 3.
Oh.
Some sort of beings
Good.
were in this room. not Umber Hulks.
Something living passed through here, though what it was is not quite clear.
Does this look like, I don't know, some sort of, well, it's not a burial chamber like before. What do you suppose this room was used for?
I don't.
To have such...
Oh, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Rabbites. Okay. I don't see the symbol of Mythalduin, do I?
You do not. You do not see Dumathrin symbol in here.
Huh.
It seems to be solely devoted to whoever's depicted on the frescoes.
To have these runes and paintings on the wall. Perhaps this is some sort of trophy hall?
Dog, go touch one of the pictures. See if anything happens.
Dog.
Ratbite is gonna like scratch at the back of one of his ears, but he'll go up and do it.
Good sport. Very good sport.
Okay. When you go up and touch the fresco, it is cool and textured. Kind of feels like an ostrich egg.
That's oddly specific.
It's just what I think of. It's like it has like large pores kind of on it, and it's very smooth.
Can I hit it with Shatter Spike?
Yeah.
Do I make an attack?
Mm-hmm.
16 plus 9 for 25.
Okay,
So
roll
there's-
damage.
Automatic crit if it's an object with Shatter Spike.
Ah, yep. Roll damage.
Excuse me. Where's my D8? 7 on the first roll, 1 on the second roll. So that's 8 plus 5 for 13.
Okay. When you hit it, it kind of like resounds for a second, and you feel like this wong like vibration run through it, and then it just like cracks straight down the middle, and one of the halves like starts falling in toward you.
I've seen walls and I've seen paint. Whatever this is, those things this ain't. And I'll get out of the way.
And it like this slab just falls off the wall and shatters into more pieces.
Dear.
What do we see behind it?
More white marble.
Gah!
There is a doorway on your left.
I was gonna go check out the doorway.
Okay. So it looks like there used to be doors here, but they have been removed, I guess, or you would guess, because you don't see them anywhere. But there are hinges. In this next room, there are 4 glass displays. One of them is broken and shattered all over the floor. And then there are more frescoes on the same side as the last room.
And do the frescoes, are they repeating?
No, they're
What was-
different.
Okay.
So if you want to take a look at them, you can.
I think
Thinks
the
highly
glass,
of itself.
or somebody did. I don't know. I wonder what
I
those glass.
bet the whiskers on my muzzle, this is some sort of arcane puzzle.
That's what I might be thinking too. What do the glass displays have in them?
So the one that is broken has nothing in it. The other 3, there's a rusty iron trowel. There's the claw. There's a large claw, and then there's a what looks like an orcish helm that's been split in 2.
Okay.
If you look over at the frescoes, that same dwarf that was in the previous one is depicted building a bridge, then meeting an elf that's clad in nothing but gold, hiding from orcs under like what looks like just rock, and then fighting a wyvern.
The dwarf was pretty impressive.
But he fishes.
I don't know if it's a puzzle, but I think Ratbite was right. I think it might be a trophy room.
If that's the purpose of this place, should we check the treasures beneath the case?
That's a good idea, I think. I'm gonna walk over to the trowel.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Oh,
Well,
no.
it's inside a case.
Shoot.
Step aside, my feathered friend. Let Ratbite lift it and meet his end.
Oh.
And then Ratbite will try to open the case.
Okay.
Splendid idea.
When Ratbite like tries, you kind of
Here
feel
it
around
comes.
on it.
Yeah.
You feel around on it, and you don't find a handle anywhere on it to like open it. It seems like it's sealed in the glass.
At the risk of repeating myself, can I hit it with Shatterspike?
Yes, you can hit it with Shutterstock.
Good.
Rat bites. Smash.
That's a 13 plus. Hey, there's a reason why he carries Shatterspike around. If he can't fix the problem, he just breaks it. 13 plus 9 is 22 to hit.
Yeah.
And that would be
Don't even worry about the damage. It's glass.
Right.
It's gone.
Yeah. So you hit it, and it just shatters into a ton of pieces. It almost explodes, like it was pressurized. And I mean the trowel is just sitting there on like kind of a metal stand. It still has like what looks like some grout dried onto it, and or mortar. The glass flies all over the room, including at you. So I'd like everyone to make a dex check for me.
Dex check or dex save?
Save, excuse me.
Okay. What do I get on dex saves? I don't think anything. I take that back. I get +2, so that's a 19.
Woo!
Also 19.
Nice.
Oh.
Woo.
I get a 5 with my +2.
All right,
I rolled
different.
3.
Ow.
You okay?
Max damage.
Ooh.
Divrin, you take 10 piercing damage as one of the large glass shards just like digs right into your neck.
Yikes.
Ah, you blasted mutt. You will pay for this.
I was the one who asked him to do it. Here. Let me help. And I'll cast Healing Word
Oh,
at first level.
Ratbite, in the meantime, is going to pick up the trowel and kind of look at it confused and say, "Perhaps I am a simple goon, but what purpose fits a flattened spoon?"
I think it's for building things. You get 9 points back.
Yeah.
Noise. When you pick it up and have it in your hand, Ratbite, make an intelligence check.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's a flat 13. Yep, that's a flat 13.
Okay. You look at the fresco, and it matches the one that the dwarf is using to build the bridge.
I'll admit this is rather quite confusing, but this seems the same object the dwarf is using.
I look up at the fresco. Oh, it is.
Take it.
I wonder. And I'm going to fly up to the fresco. Is the trowel area like indented? Like where one might put the trowel, maybe?
No. But it's a good guess. So everyone make a perception check for me real quick.
Alright, come on.
Ouch.
Hey, 21.
12.
Okay.
I'm doing my math later.
Do
I
the
got a
maths.
dirty 20.
Nice. Okay. Relly and Divrin,
Yes.
you both notice something. It seems kind of familiar. So, kind of like in the bathroom, um, the like how the blood spray didn't go on a certain part of the wall.
Hmm.
You notice that glass shards are not at the foot of part of the wall on the far side of the room.
Oh, oh, look at that. I wonder if it's another hidden door. And I will fly down to it and try to like poke my hand through.
Okay. When you like reach your claws through, they just go through, and you suddenly can see through it into another room.
Hey, it was. This really was
Least you
just
meet a fate most tragic. Let me step first through the door that's magic.
okay.
And I still got the trowel, and I have no idea what it's for. I don't even understand how you would build with it. So I'm just gonna stick it in my belt and then walk through the portal.
It can be used as a makeshift dagger later, if you need it.
Good. I'll build some holes in people.
It's like a shiv, a big shiv. Okay. As Ratbite walks through, what does he see? Ratbite sees these kind of pedestals. So there's 5 of them. They're lined up along a wall. All of them have indentations on them, but they're all empty. And then on the other wall, there are more frescoes. This time, what they show are the same dwarf discovering like what looks like some sort of shiny metal and like just acting like a maze. And then shows him taking the metal and like giving it to other dwarves and different types of people, but mostly dwarves. What else? You can see that he's gathered in front of a large community of dwarves in another picture, and then in another one, he is being crowned what looks like a king.
Oh, he was the ruler of the dwarves. Huh.
In the picture where he's being crowned king, there are other races. There are 5 other races. So there's elves, tiefling, humans. What's the other one? It's not drow. It's
Stoop that low.
orcs, and goblins. And they are all bringing him gifts. The gifts you see are a cloak with gems all over it, an onyx pipe, a large diamond, a red, what looks like a tankard, and then a large gold belt with a black buckle.
Oh, that's a lot of treasure. It's a lot of shiny things.
Wonder if we can take
Who
them.
is this dwarf that these folks would award all these items in this treasure hoard?
A king, apparently. I wonder if he united these people. That's so... Goblins and orcs, though?
He had to have done something. Something more important than discovering a shiny metal. Is that mithril?
Oh, it might have been mithril. I didn't even think about that. Is there anything else in this room, or is it just the frescoes?
So the frescoes, the 5 pedestals, and then there is just an open archway to another room.
Is there anything on the pedestals?
There's nothing on the pedestals. However, there are indentations where you think something was there.
I wonder...
Are any of them trowel shaped?
No. but they
Good.
are
I keep the
shaped.
shank.
They are shaped like the things on the wall.
It looks like somebody got here before us.
Perhaps we should pay them a visit.
Maybe. They might be long gone at this point. But we can try.
Divrin, can you make and rat bite too? Can you make a survival check for me?
This
Oh.
ain't gonna be good.
Uh,
Oh, actually, that's not bad at all. I don't
God,
think I'm proficient in
I dropped it. That doesn't count.
I am. That's a 21. That was fine. That was a great roll.
That is 16 plus 1, so 17.
Okay. You guys notice while Riley is looking at the frescoes and the indentations, excuse me, and comparing them, that on the floor there's faint, muddy outlines of what look like boots going into the next room.
Can we tell what sort of, like, if it was dwarven or human from the muddy boot prints?
Your checks are pretty good, so I'm gonna go with yes. They look like dwarven footprints.
So the dwarves stole from the dwarves? Bird, do you think you can
Yes.
find any information out from these footsteps?
I can certainly try, sure. Let me see.
I like how Divrin is traveling with the members of Duck Hunt, this bird and dog.
And the dog is laughing at people. Oh my god.
Duck Hunt.
I actually.
Duck Hunt live action.
Different. Is there a particular item up on the frescoes that you would be interested in finding?
I wouldn't mind having either that cloak or that diamond.
Okay. I'm going to picture the cloak in my mind, and I'm going to cast Locate Object.
Ooh.
As long as it's within 1,000 feet of me.
Okay. Tell me how you cast locate object. Just give me a kind of a visual.
Sure. I do come down onto the floor next to the boot prints and my colleagues, and I just kind of close my eyes. It looks like I'm perching, but I'm not. And I just close my eyes and I meditate and kind of throw my senses out as far as I can in search of this bedazzled cloak.
As your radar kind of pings out, you and you imagine. You said you were looking for the cloak?
Yes.
Okay. As you imagine the cloak in your mind's eye, your radar kind of pings out, and it, like in the next room, you feel a hit. It's not all that far from you.
Oh, it's really close. It's just in the next room.
Perhaps we should cautiously head that way.
Okay.
I do think that cloak would look far nicer on myself than dwarven trash.
I'll go ahead and tell you that when you sensed it in the next room, it was moving
Oh, in what direction was it moving?
away from you.
Oh, I think somebody has it. It's moving. We need to go. If we're going to go, we need to go now.
Let's go. That is my cloak. Thieves! I don't realize there's nobility in this room.
Go through the door.
All right. You go into the door, and this room is weird. In the middle of the room, there is this large marble bier, which is like almost like a cart, and it has on it a humongous cradle that's made out of stone on it. To your right, there is another set of frescoes. This one shows the dwarf with it looks like a family. It's like a wife and several children, and then more like even smaller children. And then it shows them fashioning things out of the shiny metal.
So
Look at the frescoes. Still, I have concentration up. Still pinging that that cloak.
So
For a dwarf to earn this kind of fame, you would think somewhere we'd see his name.
it's
I could
actually
care
been
less.
everywhere, but you can't read it.
We just can't read Dwarven.
Yep.
I could care less. I simply want my cloak.
You sense that it has moved into it feels like it's moved into the right corner of this room, but you don't see anything. And then one other thing I should mention is that the cradle is so far up above you, you cannot see what's in it. You gonna fly up?
No, I'm actually gonna check out that corner.
Okay.
I'm still honing in on the cloak.
All right. As you get closer and closer to it, you're sensing it is right in front of you, but you don't see anything.
I reach out a claw.
Can Ratbite try to? Yeah, perfect. Exactly. Ratbite try to smell if somebody's invisible.
You can try to smell. Go ahead.
Just like sniffing the ground at our bird druid's feet here.
Perception.
What am I rolling? Perception?
Mhm.
That's a 16.
Okay.
Nice.
You don't smell anything.
You're certain this is where it went? I do not detect a single scent.
It's here. I know locate object works. I've used it before.
Diverin's just gonna walk over. Is my cloak in front of us?
Maybe? I can't
Reaches out and just boosh.
When you do,
Give it to me.
When you do, you just like you get a handful of like somebody's clothes, and you just like you,
Those clothes are mine.
when you pull it back, you hear, and you lift up this black dwarf. It's a like a gray skinned dwarf. It's like a
Durger.
it's a dwerger. And he's
Where is my cloak, you
flailing
insult?
about, and he goes,
Shake him. Where is my cloak?
And as you shake him, like this bag falls off of him and like chink down to the floor. He's like,
Dog, investigate.
Can I would, so I'm not sure how to interpret investigate. So Ratbite would just put his face like right into this like literally like muzzle to snout, and then just growl very, very low in an attempt to intimidate him into silence.
Okay. Roll to intimidate him.
I get a +6 on this. That's a 22.
All right.
Yeah.
He's flailing about, and then he like your nose touches him, and he goes,
He definitely peed a little. Now, Divrin can speak Undercommon. Does this Duergar speak Undercommon?
I don't know. Speak Undercommon to him.
Where's my cloak?
He he looks at the dog, whose like eyes are like level with his, and he's just like,
He'll eat you if you do not answer. Right?
bad.
You
I'll
do eat.
lick
You do
my
eat
muzzle
dwarves.
at that point.
he's just like, it's in the bag.
Get it out, and he'll hold him and let him. It could be trapped. There could be booby
Rough the
trapped.
neck.
He
Yeah.
like is looking up at Ratbite, and he's just like, like hands it
Divrin
over.
Divrin
this guy
takes the
panic
cloak
is gonna-
immediately. So I got a dwarf and a cloak. I suppose while I have you, what is all of this? Who is this? And I hold him right up to the wall. This dwarf. That's all over these walls. Dog, put my cloak on me.
Don't you know anything?
If I detect any attitude out of you, I'll give him to you. I'll give you to him as a treat.
Okay, got it. So that's King Malaire. He's the king of the Malarkin dwarfs. And yeah, he discovered the mithril under the mountain.
I told you.
Understand what he said. So
He says blah 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 to you, and you're like, I told you.
I forgot. Ugh. It's the king under the mountain. He's discovered mithril. King something or other. Dwarven.
Also, we were right then, but that's good to know.
As I said, I told you. Mithril.
Does he have the other items in his bag?
What else is in your bag?
He just like stares at you for a second. He's like, and then he looks over at Ratbite and he's like, does he always do that?
Yes, especially when he's hungry.
Okay, so, I have, I got a pipe. My friends have the rest of it, though.
Where are your friends?
Not here.
Shake, shake, shake. Where are your friends?
I would lean in close to the Dwerger, this time kind of away from his face, closer to his ear, and just whisper, I have been told I am quite joyful, except for when my mouth is full.
You do speak common, correct? You understood that.
I have no idea what he just said, but it was terrifying.
You should be terrified. He pretty much said he was going to rip your innards out and use them for a jump rope.
Can you make him not do that?
If you will tell me where your friends are and why they're stealing these items.
I mean, we're here for the same reason you're here.
Our reasons are none of your
think.
concern. I'm more interested in your reasons.
Oh boy, we're treasure seekers. It's, okay. They're in the next room. But we've been kind of running into a problem, so we could be friends.
Your problem is not
Smiles
really my
with these
concern.
like sharp yellow fangs. He's like,
Oh, disgusting. Your problems are not really our concern, but what problems have you been running into?
well, we're trying to get some treasure.
Obviously, I'm not an idiot.
I'll show you. Can you put me down?
No, not until you finish answering my questions.
What?
Ratbite has a net. Actually, Ratbite has 2 nets. Can I use one of the nets to, like, fashion a sort of pseudo-leash on this Dwergar?
I mean, as long as your friends are okay with it.
I'm totally fine with it.
I don't know what's going on, so
She's fine with it. I'll answer for her. She's fine with it.
That sounds like different. All right, you.
Yeah.
Thing, too.
Yep. So there's like several like eyelets on this Dwerger's armor. So you kind of hook up netting to this eyelet, and he's like, "Really, really? The dog is putting me on a leash?"
He's quite
Great humor.
excited that
There
you're...
is.
You're fine.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's quite excited that he's going to be your new pet. I give him to you as a gift.
What did you
Great
say?
humor there is to be found when a dwarf has such become this bound by a man who is half hound.
He's completely psychotic. I basically told him that you are now his pet.
What? Well, why?
You do want to live, correct? Do you enjoy breathing?
I sure hope I keep getting to do that.
Don't insult me, and don't bother me, and perhaps you will.
Is he armed at all?
Oh yes.
Can Ratbite disarm him?
Uh-huh.
He can have his actual arms. I just want his weapons.
Please don't take his arms.
That might be kind of interesting. Does he have anything of interest on his person other than that lovely bag?
He has several daggers, like an exuberant, not exuberant, exorbitant amount of daggers. Um, and he has like a few gems in his pockets.
Different's gonna take those. I'll sell those later. That's for getting my hands dirty.
Worked
Well,
really
there
hard
I
to
care
get
not for
those.
shiny stones. These knives will help me scrape meat from bones.
You can take them.
You're gonna give the knives to him? Oh, this is bad.
And honestly, as long as he's playing with a toy, you're probably a lot safer. He can only do one thing at a time, so either eat or play. Which do you prefer?
Oh. Okay. And I suppose the bird lady is coming too.
I don't think you probably want to even acknowledge her, because I say chickens do eat whatever you are, dwarf. Sorry, sorry, really.
Relly would be insulted if she understood what you said.
So yeah, you see Divern just like talking back and forth this thing, and he just the entire time the dwarf just looks terrified and just mortified, and he just looks like really confused, and he's just like, "So let's go over here then, I guess."
I
He-
suppose I wouldn't even make eye contact with her at all.
So yeah, so he looks over towards Relly's direction. He's like,
Different. I'm going to see what's inside this cradle, okay?
Do you want to throw? Well, okay.
I will be back. I'll be right back.
I'm going to fly up and I'm going to see what's inside this.
"Okay." When you go up to the cradle is beautifully carved out of stone. It's very ornate. In the middle of it is like a 2 foot long dwarven like baby that's swaddled.
Okay.
It's not actually a baby. It's made of stone.
Okay, I was about to be concerned.
Yeah, I was about to be worried.
A giant dwarf baby. No.
Giant dwarf baby.
Oh. I wonder if this is just a statue or if this is a mausoleum.
Make an Arcana check.
That is a 12.
You sense that the baby is separate from the cradle, and it is magical in some way.
Oh.
You're not sure which school, but there's some sort of charm on it.
Different?
Mm.
This is something that, there's a stone baby up here. It's
Is
weird.
it alive?
No.
Different's gonna grab the back of the dwarf. Pardon me, dog. I need to borrow your pet for a moment, and we'll levitate up to the top of the basin cradle thing.
Where are you going? Oh, God!
It just goes up. Alright,
You ask him what this is, and I point to the baby. It's separate from the rest of it, and I'm a little worried about picking it up.
what is this? And do not state the obvious, I will let go.
I don't know. I haven't even seen that. I'm kind of short if you didn't know.
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah. Can you get me down? I don't like flying. Flying is against my nature.
I can put you down, but I don't think it'll be comfortable.
I swear, when I get to my friends, I'm gonna tell them to split you from stem to stern. I
Excuse
mean,
me.
you're a very nice man. I love you. You are the best.
That's disgusting. Pick up the baby.
Pick up. Oh, okay.
We
Picks
don't
it,
care if he dies. Pick it up.
picks it up, and when he does, it like shimmers and turns like it almost kind of like dramatically slow-mo shatters into like a bunch of like glittery dust, And in his hands lies a crystal crown.
I'll take that.
Whoa,
Really?
finders keepers.
Different.
Is that really your final answer?
I mean, up here the dog can't get me, right?
I can let go. And you'll be back on the ground with your master in due time.
Yeah.
Really? What is this? Your magic, figure something out.
Okay, let me see.
Is there any sort of magic coming from it now that it's been like revealed?
Now that it's a baby crown?
But it's a really nice like crystalline glass.
Oh, there's no magic to this. It's just really pretty and really expensive, and it probably belonged to the royal dwarf family.
You can keep it. It would probably look nicer on you than it would myself.
Oh, that's bittersweet. I don't know if it would stay in my feathers, but I'll try.
Pink.
Princess!
Princess Bird.
Oh.
Does anything happen?
Oh, when she puts it on?
Yeah, magic powers?
She looks amazing. Yeah, that's it. No, it is just a crystal crown, from what you can tell.
I
Which
will
is
take it
really
off because I
expensive.
don't want to lose it, and I will gingerly put it in my bag.
You would guess its value probably around like 200 gold.
Oh, wow. It's pretty expensive then.
Rich? Is there anything else in the cradle now that the baby is gone?
Is it a cat with a silver spoon?
Little Boy Blue, and there's a man
Man in
inside
the
a moon.
Inside a moon? Nice.
When you coming home, son, I don't know when.
We could get together there.
We'll get together then.
No,
Oh.
there's nothing in the hollow anymore.
I suppose that's it then.
That's good. Okay. Thank you.
Devon will let the dwarf go while simultaneously levitating and then grab him before he hits the ground.
It's like,
And check. Good.
You're
Different.
welcome. I let you live. Here's your pet back.
I'll take the leash.
Wait, why is he bound up like this?
That's his pet.
Did
It's
he
it's
agree?
okay. Yes, the Dorgra agreed.
I thought it best he be bound to me, least he try to escape and flee.
That makes sense. Okay.
He said he wanted to be a pet.
your scary bird friend didn't say anything about eating me, right?
Not yet.
I look over at him. I look over at the Durgar.
He looks frightened of you. So.
I hope you're not making eye contact. It infuriates her.
Why isn't he looking at me different?
Because of your looks, I suppose.
Has he never seen a bird before?
That's as close as a
You're
compliment
just
as you're
so
gonna get.
beautiful. He can't look upon you.
I think
So
he's
funny.
allergic to feathers.
Oh.
Or death. I'm not sure.
Oh. Oh well. Okay.
You just like tell him to sneeze.
Sneeze.
What?
Sneeze.
Achoo.
See.
I want to do an insight check. May I?
Go for it. What's your mod to insight?
Oh, it's high because my wisdom is ridiculous.
Is it greater than 5?
Yes, it's a 10.
You passively know
Wow.
that was a fake sneeze.
Different.
Yes.
Did you tell him to sneeze?
Ugh, why would I do that? He's beneath me. Perhaps he had a booger.
I don't believe you, but I'm not going to question you any further.
As you wish.
All right. Did he say which way we should go?
Formation.
There's only one way to go. That isn't
Let's
where
go
you
the
came.
one way where he may or may not have told us to go.
Perhaps the dog should let his pet go first. If there are any traps, let the fodder take the fall.
Is that okay with you, Ratbite?
It's up to you. He belongs to you.
The tiny dwarf should lead the way. If he deceives us, it'll be his last day.
Okay,
He's-
that works.
He looking at the dwarf. He said, "Don't trick us, or you'll die. Lead the way."
Lovely, lovely. You're nice people. I'm so glad I met you. And he
The pleasure is not ours.
yeah, all right. And he goes through the door, goes through the doorway, and just kind of like slowly trudges, and then is like looking around.
Now, someone did grab the bag with all the rest of the goodies, right? Just okay, good.
When
And
you go,
Ratbite's wearing all of the weaponry that this guy had on, so he probably looks ridiculous.
probably like clinking and clanging everywhere.
Must you make so much racket?
I cannot help but make some noise. I'm encumbered by all my newfound toys.
Put them in your pocket or something.
All right. So when you get in this new room, it is huge. It is
Yes.
a very large chapel. In the middle is a dais. On it is, well, you can't quite see what's on it yet. There's something on it, like debris or something. Around you, there's several pillars. There's lots of like pews that have been smashed and like strewn about everywhere. And you can see in this room there are several Dwergar, and there is a large dwarven woman who is kind of like barking orders at them, and then she sees you and goes, "You there! What are you doing with my friend?"
Ratbite just tilts his head.
What language is she speaking?
Common.
Okay. Your friend, I believe he belongs to him as a pet. I think you're mistaken.
Let him go, or you will be under attack momentarily.
As a drow, I don't really fear anything under 3 foot. Perhaps if you were a little taller, I would be concerned.
How many Dwargar are in here?
There are, by your counts, at least 8.
So we're probably screwed.
Yeah, you're vastly outnumbered. Yeah.
Different. I think it might be wisest to let him go, because if he consented to be a pet in the first place, he can always revoke that consent.
The odds are only 3 to 1. If we would fight, it would be fun.
It would be fun,
Honest-
but he would probably die.
I almost agree with the dog, but I suppose the bird is correct.
Do you speak on behalf of your friends, Drow?
Did I ask you to speak? No, I did not. Dog, do you want to let your pet go or no?
Under the guise of these many eyes, perhaps his freedom is most wise.
He belongs to you. It's your choice. I could care less.
Ratbite, I think you should let him go.
Difference just kind of...
Devon has what he wants. I think it's okay to let him go.
And he just flares the cloak out behind him.
Most drow are known for death and loathing. This one seems to care most for clothing. And then Ratbite's gonna undo the bonds and try to keep the net intact if possible, just in case he needs to use it again.
The
There.
Dwergar, once released, is just like, oh, never felt so violated in my life.
Would you like to feel more violated?
You shut up.
Excuse!
he scurries off to his friends. He's like, I have my friends now.
They still won't save you. We'll have a deranged dog and a bird.
He goes,
I'd say the odds are even.
Iron Ice. These guys are crazy. I think we should ask them to do that favor for us. You know what I'm saying? And they're
Is
like,
he speaking in common?
okay. No, they're all speaking in Undercommon.
Okay.
He thinks he's going to ask us a favor to do some secret favor they were talking about.
Well, maybe we should do it.
He
It'll
also said we're
benefit us.
crazy. He said your feathers were ugly.
My feathers aren't ugly.
It's a rude thing. Misinterpretation at its finest.
It's when you have that language barrier and like you have a translator that just can tell either side whatever they want.
Whatever they want.
Yeah. So after discussing,
I'll not abide an insult on your beauty. He pulls out his swords. If
Oh,
I
no.
must, I'll fulfill my duty.
Ratbite, no. It's okay. It's okay. If the favor is anything like I expect it to be, we'll probably be fighting soon anyway, and I'd rather not take on 2 groups of people.
We would win
Very
all of
well. I'll
Oh.
sheathe the swords. Let it be known if there's a need. I'm eager to make these bastards bleed.
I will,
them. He's not so bad
I will
for a dog.
scratch the top of his head with my claws.
You should
Oh.
probably clean
Ratbite's
yourself.
like left foot kind of like stomps on the floor a little bit.
Thank you, Ratbite. It's really appreciated.
Needs soap.
needs soap.
I'll get some of the oils later. It's okay. I don't want to waste any by having to wash over and over again.
As you pet his head, you see like little black dots go boink boink boink.
I picked them out with my beak.
Oh.
The
I guess that's
Duergar-
just a snack for you, isn't it?
It
Yep.
would be. The Duergar
Great.
talk to one another, and you see the female dwarf leader. She is a dwarf. She is not a Duergar. She kind of talks to them for a little bit and looks and goes, "Do you fancy a challenge?
Sure.
We've had quite a bit of problems trying to get through this last barrier, and if you don't mind, we'd love for you to take on this threat. You seem a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Capable, intelligent, strong.
No,
Any
none
of
of those
those?
things. Perhaps you have a bit more variety than our group. There's a golem, you see, and it appears by these doors, and she kind of beckons you over.
I will walk
Different
over.
just raises his eyebrow and just stands there.
I'll walk over.
Okay.
Ratbite follows.
When you get closer, you can see that on the dais there are Dwerger like body parts that are just like strewn all over this dais, and at the back of it there are 2 large black doors, and they have dwarven inscriptions all around them. And she says, every time that we try to open these doors, there's a golem that comes out of nowhere and attacks. Our weapons are not useful against it. It doesn't seem to be affected by normal weaponry.
What's on the other side of the doors that you're trying to get to? That's so important.
Well, we're not completely sure, but these runes do indicate that. Well, I'll just read them to you. It says. I have to read it. It says, "It is the will of the Keeper of Secrets that only the hand of the king may open these doors. Let all who enter gaze upon the true power of dwarven kind." Now, this all seems a bit like superstition to me, and definitely a place to keep treasure. But I'm
Well-
pretty sure if you can defeat the Guardian, that we will be let through.
The answer is clearly right there in front of you. We simply need to cut off the hand of the king and use it to open the door.
Oh, Well, I hadn't thought of that.
Obviously, that's why you have body parts everywhere. You should try it.
Rat Ratbite is gonna lean over very quietly to his bird friend and say, "Once these golem stones we've scattered, do you suppose it at all matters if I were to feast upon that splatter?"
Oh, I think you can snack on it as much as you'd like.
Just don't get anything on me like you did last time.
Wait, did he just suggest eating my people?
No, of course not.
That's
Just the remains.
disgusting. She starts like gathering up the pieces like along the edge, and it's like putting them in like a sack. She's just like,
Are you
Ratbite does
going to
that
keep
thing
those
where
for
like the dog
decoration?
watches it and just kind of like makes a very quiet, high-pitched whine, just like.
I
Do you
pull out
intend
another
on-
piece of Ember Hulk and give it to him.
I start snacking on it, but it's clear that it's not what I want.
What? I mean, you clearly have no use for those body parts. Why not let them have them? As a matter of fact, if you want us to go through the doors, I have a couple of demands. Since there's clearly poses a threat to us.
well, I mean, you may have just solved the problem for us. Perhaps we'll just get a hold of this king's hand, and we won't need you.
Yeah, good luck finding the king.
Wait, I have an idea.
I'm going.
I need my demands first.
Oh.
Demands. Don't give them any ideas.
No, I just lost. I didn't lose the idea, but the idea's not going to work now. Never mind.
And I turned to Different and I was like,
I was going to go back to the statue that we got all the armor from, but I forgot to put under the floor, Different.
Whoops. But I have all of this armor and this cloak, so it's clearly a win.
Wait. Put the armor on.
He's still wearing it. He never
good,
took
good,
it
good.
off.
And you have the cloak on, and I put out the circlet. Put it on his head. You're a king!
Of course I am. Now, about those demands, I'm going to require you to take that entire bag and give it to the
put your
dog.
hand on the door.
Can I not at least get my things first? Feed the dog. Give him the body parts. Come. Give me the bag. And I'll be taking our pet back as well. And I'll open the door for you. We'll even split whatever's inside.
The the dwarf kind of collects herself, takes a long, deep sigh. You're not used to not getting your way, are you?
I always get my way.
Fries.
I'll cut my own
We
hands
can
off and fix up this
compromise.
dog before I open the door for you if you do not meet my demands.
We can compromise on these demands. I don't need it all, just a couple hands.
You heard him.
I'm not giving up my men.
Just the dead ones. We don't need the live ones.
And
Except, perhaps our pet. He did say you were a terrible woman. Perhaps you don't need him. He did say that.
He said no such thing.
He did, I assure you, when he picked up the stone baby.
The stone ba-
Yeah, he
You're-
said you were a terrible mother.
What?
What was said?
Your group is making less and less sense as we go along. Perhaps this was a terrible idea. Maybe we should just kill them.
Different. Just put your hand on the door and we can renegotiate later.
Can we at least feed the dog his bag? When
I have-
an animal does a thing, you give it a reward.
I gave him some Ember Hulk. He'll be fine.
This
for
isn't what he
now.
wanted.
I know.
How
We'll get to what
about-
he wants later.
How about some nice steak instead?
Dog?
I suppose I can be sated, though I'll admit it's dwarven meat for what I waited.
You're already dead. No one's gonna miss a couple of hands. We won't even speak of it again. We'll never tell anyone you gave us any. And I'll open the door.
She just keeps looking at you and like takes this large like slab of meat out of one of their leather sacks and just kind of like wiggles it in her hand. It's like,
Put some fingers on
Despite
top of
his
it.
best effort, Ratbite is drooling a river.
she's like, if you want your friends to stay alive, and this steak,
That's threatening.
you will make your drow friend touch the door.
They'll not make me
Hmm?
do anything.
You didn't have to threaten our lives.
And I don't know that I want to open the door.
Hmm?
My drow
She
friend
keeps
does not
looking at
often
Ratbite.
take command. I'd release that morsel from your hands. At least you be clean. You understand. He's gonna lick his
Drow nobility do not get threatened often. I'm not so sure how I feel about this.
I'm pretty sure your friend can handle you. And she throws it to him, like kind of like a frisbee.
I suppose, but we get at least 70 to 80% of whatever's in that room.
I'll
If
agree to 60-40.
In favor of who?
In favor of myself, of course, and whatever I give these two.
Your bird friend's smarter than you.
I don't
was-
deny or recall asking you.
I was saying 60% in our favor.
Of course not. No. No.
Do you have a better
I
offer?
have the hands that open the door. It's at the
The Dwergar start
60,
moving
40.
in on you.
Everyone just put your hand on the door. We'll renegotiate.
60-40 in our favor, and I'll open the door. I'll feed my hands to the dog. By the abyss, I will. Either it works in our favor or you get nothing.
Very well. Very well.
That's what I thought. Sorry, dog. Perhaps later. And he'll go up and touch the door.
When you get on the dais and you approach the door, a large clay golem literally pops out of a wormhole over by the door and sweeps at you. Roll initiative.
Different, better
Ooh,
ducks.
that's not gonna be great.
This carefully crafted character better not die because of his arrogance.
Ratbite is gonna have an 11 on initiative.
No comment.
17!
22.
17!
Ooh.
Right. So,
The canon reason why his initiative is so low is he has to finish the steak first.
who's 22?
Me.
Really? Okay. Different. Right. And do. Where are you?
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Rover.
Need some help from you now.
Rare.
Rare Raggy? Ruby Roo! That's awesome.
Oh god, did I accidentally make crazy Scooby-Doo as a D&D character?
Yes. Okay. The golem's initiative is DVD. Okay. Oh, that's awful.
Good.
That's definitely good.
What is with you guys in making things slow? Okay. Right. Relly, you're the first one to see this, like, arm come out of nothing and just.
Oh, well, I don't like that. Cast polymorph.
Okay.
Has to make a wisdom 17 saving throw.
Good thing it's super good at wisdom.
I feel like Ratbite didn't have to choose to fail that, he just automatically would have.
That's a natural 20.
Oh no! Stupid hand.
Damn it. Then
So when you do it, it just the spell just like dissipates against it.
That's not how it's supposed to go. Fine. As a bonus action, I will cast. Nope, it has to be a cantrip. Oh, yeah, it's a cantrip. I'll cast Shillelagh on my sickle.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Ooh, actually, I should say this. When you cast the spell on it, the like magical effect seems to just kind of like fizzle out when it hits it.
Spells don't work, I don't think. I call out to my friends. Then I'll end my turn.
Alrighty. Divrin.
Is not gonna touch that crossbow or I'll cut his hands off myself. We're gonna use his dagger.
Dagger. Alright.
His dagger.
His dagger.
His Mick Jagger dagger.
Jagger dagger.
Oh, so it's not gonna hit. It's a 7.
A 7? Yeah, no.
Should have gone with crossbow.
You try to take a stab at it, and it just like moves out of the way. And rapid. Do you want to move or like use your bonus action to disengage or something like that?
I would get away. Regroup. Is there anything I can hide behind that's not a bathtub?
You can get off the dais.
Let's get off of that. Maybe I'll crouch down or something so I can get my sneak attacks in.
Okay. When you get off the dais, no one else is currently on the dais, I assume. It disappears.
I'm still wherever the dwarf lady gave me the steak.
The golem disappears.
Dog, step up here.
I'm gonna keep you on initiative.
Ratbite is gonna finish the steak, and he's gonna pull out both of the swords and kind of give them a nice little flourish. It seems if we're to pass this trial, we must engage the golem all the while, and then he'll. Can I make a hold a readied action to attack and then jump on the dais?
To attack. So you're gonna attack and then jump up?
Well, because the golem's not there now, right? So basically, I want to ready the action to attack it as soon as it comes at me, and then jump onto the dais, just like ready.
Okay.
If that's okay.
When you jump up there, it reappears. So
Good.
You may attack.
Cool. So I'm not gonna use my fighting spirit on this one. I'm just going to make 3 attacks. By 3 attacks, I mean, ooh, beautiful. So that's a 19. What's my plus again? Plus 9? Plus 8?
Yes.
19 plus 9. So that's a 28 for the first one.
Yes, that hits.
A 25 for the second one. And then I'll use a bonus action with my dual wielder to do a third attack, which is, that one's only a 20. Only
a 20. And both of your weapons are magic, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. That'll work. So all of those are going to hit.
Cool. Okay, so where's my D8 at? The first one, that sucks. The first one's going to be 6 damage in total.
Okay.
The second one's going to be 10 damage in total. And the final one will be, that's much better. No, I guess not that much better. 12 in total.
Okay.
Very good.
So as you're like,
And-
whap, like hitting this thing, it like kind of bends. Its body bends as you hit it. It starts reforming together, but like pieces of it, small pieces of it, are kind of coming off of it.
This creature seems to be made of clay. I bet we'd chop away at it all day. And I'll, again, just flourish and keep the swords ready. And that is going to be my turn. I'm going to stay right exactly there.
Okay. Jeez. All right. Okay. Oh. All right. So the first thing it's going to do That is not right. First thing it's
I'm
going to do
scared.
is after you hit it, it kind of just looks at you, and then you see it like start vibrating, and it's going to make several attacks against you.
Of course.
Run! You're in danger.
I need more d20s.
Oh god.
no.
Oh god.
You say more D20s?
Yes.
What's happening to me?
Okay. Does an 18 hit your AC?
Yes.
It hits you 4 times.
I think you're gonna be a poodle.
So it like as it vibrates, you just see its arms move at blinding speed. It just like whacks this dog. So let's
That's
see.
animal abuse.
It is. Where's what is it? PETA? Where is it?
Call Peter.
Call PETA.
What do you want? Yeah.
Dog abuse. PETA.
PETA.
PETA Griffin.
Peter. Okay, so it's gonna be Mm, mm, 2, 1. So that's gonna be 50 damage.
Yikes.
50 bludgeoning damage. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Ratbite is still standing, but he looks rough. Rougher than usual, which is saying something. Constitution, do I have a con mod? I do. Okay, I have +6 because I'm a fighter. So that is actually going to be an 18.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Oof.
But you feel shaken, like it hit you really hard. All right.
Ratbite
And
looks
that's his
bad,
turn.
and he's just kind of, he's like one of those hurt dogs, and he's just kind of constantly whimpering right now.
Oh no.
But he's still got the swords
no.
out, and he's still looking up at the thing.
Does anybody have a potion?
I don't have a potion, but I have other things.
Okay. Relly.
Okay. Well, I was going to do one thing, and now I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Ratbite at 4th level.
Ooh.
That's 4d4 plus 5. So that's 4.
All the heals.
All the heals.
18 points.
I will take it.
Nom
Thank
nom nom. HP.
Nom 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 noms.
So that's your bonus.
And was that my bonus? Was that really my bonus?
Yeah. Healing word, right?
Oh yeah, it's a bonus action.
Oh.
Oh my god. So for my action, this is so great. I'm going to cast.
Meow.
Meow.
Now,
Meow.
before I cast this, I have a question, DM.
Yes.
Is this clay creature a plant creature?
It's not. I will tell you though that you cannot cast like
Oh.
a normal action spell though.
Right. That's fine. Then I will run up to the other side of the golem, so like behind the golem, and I will attack it with my sickle.
Okie doke.
Is that flanking, DM? Do we have advantage?
It is flanking!
Okay.
Well,
That
they're
is
getting
a
in the flanking position now, Jim.
13
Would
plus
you
5.
look at that? You got up right behind him on the other side there, Craig. That's going to be real good.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes, an 18 does hit.
Excellent. It's only 3 points of damage, but
No, but still.
oh wait, but it's magical because I had Shillelagh cast.
Wait, what die is a sickle?
Of D4.
That's a D4? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but then
Yes, Shillelagh, so you should use your wisdom mod.
my spellcasting ability for
Mhm.
the attack, so it would have been higher than an 18. And the damage die becomes a D8. I don't play druids very often, can you tell?
It's all good.
Okay, so that was a 6 plus a 1. So that's 7 points of damage.
Your damage is still going to be wisdom too.
Well, then that is 11 points of damage.
Much better.
I like that. That's good.
All right. Yeah, Shillelagh's pretty freaking amazing.
I do like Shillelagh.
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 All right, it's Differin's turn.
Okay, so I have a plan.
What's your
And
plan?
it's a good plan.
It's probably
Different.
shite.
Different is going to levitate above the golem
Okay.
and pull out his crossbow and shoot it. And I pray in the back of the head. Somewhere good. I don't care. Just hit.
3-dimensional flanking.
Yes. Yes.
What kind of three-dimensional flanking here?
So, 17. Please hit.
17 does hit. I have a question for you. Is
Oh,
your
no.
crossbow magical in some way?
No, it's just a regular crossbow, martial ammunition, light, loading range. Yeah, just a regular crossbow.
When you hit it, the crossbow bolt goes into it and it just absorbs it.
So only magic does damage. Different is no longer amused. Bonus action. Have nothing except spells that don't really do anything. So, I guess his job is to now stand here and look pretty.
Any magical weapons?
I don't. Hold on. Crossbow bolts, dagger, thieves' tools. I don't see anything with magic.
All right. So your best move now would be to use the rest of your turn to obtain something magical you can hit it with.
Is there anything around me that is magic that I can use to hit this thing?
You should
Somebody
ask
give me something.
your friends.
Clearly, only magical items can strike this creature. Who has something that they can give me? I'll take a brick. Just something.
Well, on my turn, I will assist.
All right.
Ratbite has no way to know if any of the stuff that he took was magic, so he's got nothing to offer you.
Relly, can I have you make an Arcana check real quick?
Sure.
Just because of your spells response.
Yes. That is an 18 plus 4 is a 22.
Okay. You feel like specifically transmutation spells don't work on this thing. So whenever you tried to change its shape, that was why it fizzled out.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, that's aggravating. Okay. Well.
Different.
Then
Do you have any other things you want to try and do during this turn?
He is just gonna float out, just out of reach, so that he can at least get attacked while he's above the golem.
Okay. All right, Ratbite.
As a free action, I'd like to look up at Different and say, if your crossbow failed or miss, ask our friends for an assist. And kind of like nod towards the dwarves there. And that being said, Ratbite looks back at the golem and takes just like a really, really deep breath, which is him using a bonus action to get a second wind.
Okay.
And restore some HP. If I can find my D10. Huzzah! So that is going to be 6 plus 9, so I'm going to get 15 health back from that one.
All right.
And then, feeling a little bit better, he immediately starts just chuckling. And he's going to make 2 attacks, just kind of slash across. So these are at advantage, that's right. So that is a 12 and a 13. So the 13 takes it. So that is going to be a 22. And then the second one will be a 7 and a please be a better than 7. A 19. That's a little bit better than 7.
So those both hit.
So good stuff. That's 10 damage on the first swing.
Okay.
And 9 damage on the second swing.
All right.
This is gonna take forever.
So as you swing at it more, like bits of clay are coming off of this thing. It is getting smaller. You feel like it's about half the size it was when you started.
It does look a lot smaller. Keep hacking away at it.
If you think that course is wise, I'll continue cutting it down to size.
Right.
And that is gonna be my turn.
Okay. The golem is going to continue attacking the greatest threat, which is rat bite. All right. Does a 19 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So what it does is it takes its body, like at first it was swinging at you with its arms, but now that it's smaller, it takes its whole body and just like slams into you. It's almost like it's called a slam attack or something.
Oh god.
It does
Oh, no.
15 points of bludgeoning damage.
Doggy pancake?
And you need, yeah.
What?
Not Pancake Bunny, but Pancake Dog. Make a Constitution save.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a 19. That's a 25.
All right, cool. Safe. And
Is
gonna
it
be
bad that I really want to know what happens if I fail? But like I don't want to die either. So it's like
you don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
All right,
Doggy pancake is
I'm gonna
real.
get like absorbed by this thing.
really.
Okay. I realizing that transmutation is not going to do anything. Is the golem like fully out of the wormhole, or is it just?
It is fully out of it. Yeah.
But the wormhole's still there?
Sort of. It's almost like it comes out of this misty part in reality, and then it kind of like closes up behind it.
Okay, so like dispel magic probably wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. I will instead. Light doesn't work on constructs.
Help
Does it
me
say
slay
that in
this
the
thing
spell?
with haste before it turns me into paste.
I'm trying.
Does it say that in the
Dog-
spell? It doesn't work on constructs.
It doesn't work on constructs.
That's funny.
I'm so mad.
You're like,
I have
no.
one fifth level spell slot, and I'm saving it for Blight because it's 98 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. Rat bite, and I will cast haste on rat bite. Until the spell ends, rat bite's speed is doubled. He gains a +2 bonus to his AC. Has advantage on dex saving throws, and gains an additional action on each of his turns. But
Additional action.
yeah, so you can only do attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
I think I know which one he's gonna use.
Yep. I think he's gonna attack.
Yeah.
He's gonna attack.
And then, hopefully with a free action, I'm just gonna toss my sickle at Divrin. Because
Totally
it
catch
still
you.
has shillelagh on it.
It's fine. Divrin, I want you to make a dex check.
I swear, if he drops this. A 5.
No.
You were the worst guide.
Oh no.
Divrin!
So,
It had fleas on it.
I
Relly
ate them.
places her claw on
Cut the hair
Ratbite, and as she does, Ratbite just like starts like vibrating. It's even more energetic than normal. It's like you gave him an espresso. And tosses up her sickle to Divern. It goes up toward Divern, and Divern like does that crossways thing, and it just tumbles back down toward Relly. Relly, make a dex save.
Oh god, catch. You catch it in a non-harmful way.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's a 14. Maybe it's okay.
It's okay. It lands on the
Okay.
ground next to you.
Okay.
Try it again.
Or you can come get it.
Divern, it's your turn now.
Okay. I'll come get it. And he'll away from the golem so he doesn't get attacked. Like, it goes.
It's a claw
Visual.
machine.
It's a claw machine. And pick up the sickle and we'll. Do I still get to attack? Or was that mine?
No, it's just a move and object interaction. You can now move right up next to the golem and attack it.
Awesome. I don't want to get too close. We're gonna attack it from behind and in the air where he's still standing.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll roll, make sure it hits. I don't know what kind of damage this thing does. Seven.
I could tell from that face that it was just a glorious roll. You're like, the lips
Divern,
were
I hate
pursed. Yep. Take it, Divern.
Divern strikes again. Not.
Hashtag best guide.
Hashtag best guy. Yep.
Hashtag best guide.
All right. Yeah, that's a miss, unfortunately.
He needs a new job badly.
As you swing and miss at this golem, it kind of turns its faceless head toward you, kind of. Whoop. It is now Ratbite's turn.
Float away. Float
Feeling
away.
fresh and energized, I'll now make sure this creature dies! And I'm going to use my attack. Use my attack action to make 2 attacks, and then use the extra action from the attack, or the haste, to make 2 more attacks, and use my bonus action to make a 5th attack, all at advantage thanks to flanking. So Ratbite is just losing his mind, just laughing manically. So that's a 3 and a 13, which makes it a 22 to hit on the first one.
Hit.
A 6 and a 17, so that's a 26 on the third one.
Okay, so we
A
got 2.
10 and a 5, so that's a 19 on the third one. Does that one hit?
Hit.
Ooh, okay, cool. A 10 and a 7, so that's another 19. And how many do I have left, guys? One more. Okay, great.
One more.
13 and an 18, so
Okay.
that's 27.
Hit.
You hit.
Cool.
All the
No
things.
crits, unfortunately, but
Roll
5
damage
big
5
chunks.
times. Yep.
all right. If I can keep track of my frickin' D8 here. Here we go.
Just name 'em
That's
off
10
and-
for the first one.
Okay.
I can do math. 13 for the second one.
Okay.
13 for the third one. That's a 6 for the fourth one.
It's gonna be a pebble.
And 11 for the fifth one.
Okay. All right. You have cut this thing very much down to size. It is like halfling size now. It's like.
Every time a piece falls away from it, Ratbite just his eyes go wider, and he just going to town on this damn thing.
Okay. It has gotten below a certain amount. Aw, darn. It didn't get to do its thing. Oh well.
Shame.
Okay.
Aw,
So-
darn.
It's going to attack its new friend. It turns to the smaller target that's not destroying it.
If only I had action surge.
Oh, Divert has such good luck. Hey, Divrin, what's your AC?
I'm almost scared to tell you. It's 14.
No boy.
No.
Okay.
Oh, the greatest guide of the Underdark. Come on now. He can't die.
Oh, well, it rolled horribly on damage. That's good for you.
Perfect.
Let's see. So that's 18 bludgeoning damage from the crit, and 13 more from the other hit.
So, how much damage do you do total?
31.
Boof, boof, boof. Just like punches you with all its little might.
God.
It's like Baby Groot. All right,
Difference not looking so good, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Relic.
Okay. Okay. I don't like this. I'm going to cast Mask Your Wounds.
I don't like this either.
Nice.
And I choose Ratbite and I choose Devrin to each receive 3d8 plus 5 hit points.
Oh my.
So,
Healy, healy.
Healy. We're getting Healy up in here.
One of the
Healy
worst
Druid.
inventions of the 90s. Heelys.
Okay. An 8 and a 4 is 12. And then plus 7 is 19, plus 5 is 24 hit points.
Dang.
So plus 24.
Ratbite almost has as much health as before he got frickin' pummeled that first time.
And that is my 1/5 level spell slot.
Noise.
Noise.
And then I don't have my sickle, so I can't do anything with Shillelagh at the moment.
Oh, the sickle's on the ground next to you.
Oh, that's right. I will leave it because I assume Devrin's gonna pick it up at some point. So,
He's gonna try.
and that's all I do.
Okay, different.
The greatest guide of the Underdark swoops down after the sickle and is going to attack the now halfling-sized golem.
Okay.
Oh, thank God, that was a 14. So 16. That hits.
That hits.
Okay, so how does the sickle work? What am I rolling?
It's
D4.
1d4 plus 1.
24, so 2 damage.
Oh, you rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1.
Every bit helps.
Different is the greatest.
Okay, you swing the sickle and it
has
shaves
shillelagh
off
on it.
a
It still has
section.
shillelagh on
It
it.
does have shillelagh on it.
So, okay, so instead it's a d8 plus 5.
8 plus 5? Well, that's what I'm doing. The 8 plus
Well,
5?
plus your spellcasting
Oh,
modifier.
plus Devrin's spellcasting modifier. So it's a d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Which would be wisdom
Yes.
plus
If-
1.
I don't even know what.
I'm gonna say if that's what you spellcast.
You can cast some spells.
What do you?
I can't remember what
cast
class Devrin is.
with? Rogue,
Rogue. A really, really bad one.
Charisma?
probably charisma.
Charisma? Charisma's plus 2. Okay, so I need
3.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of shave off like a section of its head, and it just gets a little bit smaller. All right.
How is
helps.
it you cannot defeat a creature that is this petite?
Except he says it really fast, so it's.
Ratbite, you have an
How is it you
angry.
cannot defeat a creature that is this petite?
Luckily, Devon couldn't understand that, or he'd be upset. So
That was well done. All right. Ratbite, you have this tiny thing shaking its clay fists at you.
You're still hasted.
5 attacks at advantage, baby. Let's do it. That's an 18 and a 3, so that's 27. A 13 and a 14, so 23. A 2 and a 15, so 25.
Next.
Sorry, 24. I can do math. I can totally do math. Oh, that's a nat 1 and a 5. So that one's going to miss. That's going to be a 14.
Yes.
I think it misses anyway.
Wait, no, 14? 14 hits.
14.
14 hits.
14 hits? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So a 16 and a 1 for 25.
Yeah, so all of
And
them
then
hit.
that's it, right? That's
Yep,
5?
a hit.
Great.
Bing, 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 bing.
10 damage,
Uh-huh.
plus 12 damage,
Done.
plus 6 damage.
Nope,
Oh,
nope.
great.
You hit it twice and you've cut it down. It like deflates. It just like goes in the ground.
The reality is Ratbite doesn't care, and he's still gonna attack the mud on the floor. He doesn't know what's going on. So the other 2 sword blows are just like hacks into the floor.
Well done. All right, you have defeated the
Alright.
clay golem.
Haste drops shortly after, and you are super lethargic.
Different's gonna hand back the sickle. You're so lucky that I'm here with you.
Ratbite is now exhausted. Literally.
Literally.
Luckily, it's just for a few seconds.
Before I felt over-inspired. Now I feel tremendously tired.
Well, you took down the golem. You did so well.
She gave Ratbite meth.
I
It's the only
suppose
thing that's gonna help.
that is what matters. I've made the creature another splatter.
Over at
How
the-
muddy am I on a scale of 1 to like
Oh,
a creature
God,
that's
you are-
just covered in brown?
You
You're
are
covered.
covered in clay. Like all of your hair is matted down, and it's just like covered in this like light brown slickness.
Is Davriel still in the air?
There's difference in the air.
Yes.
Different, sorry?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's fine. Don't worry
Oh
about
no, he's still there. He's still up in the air. He's not coming anywhere near that dog. No, sir.
I look over at the dwarven woman.
We appreciate your help.
Right.
We already told you that our weapons were ineffective against it. What did you want us to do?
Throw yourselves at it and create a distraction. Thankfully, I was here. It's all right.
In any case,
Did
is
the
there
drow
a
say
way-
something?
Is there a way to open the door now that the golem is taken care of?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out. And all the Dwergar just like hop up onto this door, and they're just like looking at it and touching it and stuff, and they're just
Yeah, Dip's still in the air with his magic hands.
like scraping at it and stuff and looking at it. And they look up at the drow in the air, and they're just like,
I heard the word goblin at the end of that, but okay.
what'd you call
I
me?
don't understand a word they say. I'm irritated they did not join the fray.
They're
I look
just
over
like
at the dwarven
pointing
woman.
at the drow.
What are they saying?
That they want the drow to touch the door.
I'm sure they do.
Will you please touch the door? You can
just
keep
takes
the
out-
crown.
Okay. And just boop with his pinky.
Nothing happens.
Your
Nothing
whole
happened.
hand, please, Devrin.
So literal. Whole hand on the door.
Nothing happens.
Both hands on the door.
Nothing happens.
I'm in full armor. I have the crown and the cloak. What were we missing? The tankard. I need a cup. We're missing something. It's not working.
Maybe it's because you're a drow. Does it have to be a dwarven king?
Well, this is the tomb of King Malair. Perhaps we could find his actual hand.
Possibly. That was my idea, so I think it should be 70-30. Where was he buried?
I believe it was my idea. I just said it.
I said it first.
Where was he buried, do you think?
We're not sure. We know it's here in this location, but where exactly, we don't know.
Well, you're useless.
I'm going to. How
let's see, it's a chapel. Are there any other doorways? Any other?
Yes, there are indeed. Give me just a moment.
Ratbite is going to walk into the middle of the group and shake off all the mud.
Good dog.
So, what you see are there's a so this room is kind of like dark-ish in other places, and it has just kind of like has these quartz pillars that work kind of like spotlights on different areas. So some areas are lit up a little more than others. The dais is very lit up. There is a doorway with two large dwarven statues on your right. There is like what looks like a giant pool, like a reflecting pool on your left. And then behind the basalt doors, there's like kind of an edge of what looks like a giant sphere.
I think the sphere or the guards, because normally people would put guards in front of a king, right? They would guard the king in his death. I head towards the guards.
Ratbite will follow.
Everyone's gonna float behind them.
Right.
The cape.
As you, yeah, she's like flowing gemmed cape.
Wait, is he? I'm picturing him as King George from Hamilton right now.
With the
You know the
glass
cape-
crown.
You know the cape is too short, right? It's for a dwarf, so it only comes like halfway down.
Yeah, it's just like a little mini
It's
cape.
like a mini
Capelet.
capelet.
Oh, jeez. Okay. You guys are coming toward this door. As you get closer to it, you realize how crazy tall it is. It's very like tall and elongated. Kind of like, have any of you seen Beetlejuice?
Yes.
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 You know how like things would just like what he did to the fireplace whenever he was having the wedding, right? Just made it like this tall, weird, like angular thing. It's very out of sorts with the rest of the architecture in here. The two statues are actually like part of the carving of the frame of this door. And they stand with these large swords. They're not dwarven.
The swords or the statues? Or both?
The swords.
Okay.
The swords are not dwarven. And they the statues don't have faces. Their armor is purple and gold. And they're like super duper tall, like looming. They have the same kind of like proportions as dwarves, but they're just like elongated.
I'm not defeating another golem.
And they kind of just like look over you.
This does look like someplace someone would bury a king.
I go up to the doors and I push.
Okay. Hey.
Roll initiative.
Sorry, my cat was
Scared.
attacking me.
Good kitty.
You all die.
Yeah. Cat's like, no!
No.
So you put your claw on the door, and when you do, it just opens up.
That was surprisingly easy.
It was deceptively easy. Be on your guard.
And I will push the doors more open.
As you open the door up, you see the next room is very small. It opens two ways, left and right, but it's kind of like a little T hallway. The entire wall is covered in gemstones.
Oh.
To be
Okay.
buried with this riches seems very strange. When I die, a shallow pit will be my grave.
No,
We'll line it.
We had the same thoughts, but I don't think it was quite that similar. Okay.
Probably not. Probably.
Probably not. I will walk inside. I'm specifically staying in the middle and not getting too close to the gems.
Okay. Does anyone else come in with her?
Divrin will go
I
behind
will,
her because he has all the.
What?
Ratbite would probably try to get in front, just in case. Swords out still. Be careful, friend. Be on your guard. I'm wary that our entrance was not hard.
I will let
When you get in the middle of this room, all of you come in. The door behind you closes.
Oh,
Great.
I don't like that.
There
just-
it is, and now we're trapped. Here we'll die like sinking rats.
It just echoes through the room. Just and then there's nothing.
Hello?
Hello? You hear your echo back to you.
What can Divrin see?
You're in a small room that has gems all over the wall in front of you, and there's a passageway, like a small hallway, that turns to your right and one to your left. But they, like, once you go in, they immediately turn, so you don't see what's down them.
Are there any light sources for our bird friend?
Not at the moment, now that the door is closed.
Can I cast dancing lights?
Certainly. Small orbs of light bloop, 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 dance around your heads.
That's much better, thank you.
In darkness, if you have no sight, stay right close to your friend Ratbite.
I will stick closer at the bite, thank you.
All right.
Do you
Which
think we
way
should
do
take
you
the
go?
left or the right one?
What do you smell, dog?
That's a good idea.
I'll try to sniff at the air, kind of like sniff towards one side, sniff towards the other side. What kind of check should I make, DM?
Make an investigation check for me.
Oof. Hey!
I will cast guidance. I will cast guidance.
Ooh.
So you get an extra D4.
Okay. In
Teamwork.
that case, that's an 18.
All right.
I was all happy to get a 15.
He's like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Basically, a decent roll on something I have +0 for. I'll take it.
What you smell on the left smells like animal and rot. On your right smells like kind of like the smell that you had in the armory. Stale, undisturbed.
This way smells of naught but dead air. Over here, there's meat and rot everywhere.
Well, it's probably a bad thing. But to have someplace so easily entered to be undisturbed is equally bad.
We're screwed.
Well, let's oh god, I only have one slot left. No, I have more than that.
You say, welcome to the dungeon that wears you down.
Hey, it's okay.
Before we venture on a guess, perhaps we should take a short rest.
I think that's a good idea.
Short rest. Yeah.
You guys want to spend an hour sitting in this gem room?
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay.
So we do short rest?
All right. Short rest. So, none of you are warlocks, so you don't regain any spells. But
I gain action surge and second wind back.
yep,
That's literally
and
all I
you may
get.
Spend hit dice if you like.
Yes, please.
I'm high enough.
I'm at, what's my hit dice? A D10. I'm going to burn 3 hit dice, DM.
All right.
If I can find my D10.
I'm going to move my dog off my bed. Give me 1 second.
Get off my bed.
Get off my bed! Just
Okay, that's pretty
everybody,
good.
everybody ignore me while I eat this.
I say, if you want to take a break, we can. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to take a quick bathroom break. 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
What is it?
I mean, either way's fine for me. 5, 10, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
5
5
minutes?
minute break would be great.
All right, let's do it.
Cool.
Sweet.
DM, I healed 20 health on my hit die, and I am sitting at 68 out of 76.
All right, that'll work.
Yeah. Purgatory.
Oh my god.
We're all going to purgatory. Get off my food, dog. Come on.
All right, we are back. So, now that you've taken your rest in this gem-filled room,
Green screen.
where will you go?
Well, I really think that the reason that the one on the right isn't disturbed is because the thing on the left comes and gets you before you can go to the right. I'm sounding French, and it is because we took our break and we were in French.
Pepe le Pug.
Pepe le
Pepe le
Pug.
Pug.
Zut alors.
Zut alors.
Qu'allons-nous faire?
So maybe we should go to the left and take care of what's ever on the left so then we can go to the right?
It smells to me like something's died. Perhaps someone else has already tried.
Well, let me try something.
And I'm going to cast Wild Shape on myself.
Hmm.
And I'm going to become a CR1 creature, and I have to pick one out. I will do Giant Spider.
Ooh.
That's not
Fun.
weird.
Nope.
So what you see is the bird just suddenly becomes a spider.
Different, like,
How big of a
low-key
spider?
freaks out.
It's a giant spider, so it's big.
It's bigger
Our
than a
bird
person.
friend's now a giant spider. Hold my things, I have to ride her.
The giant spider. If you want to ride the giant spider, you can. All 300
Yes,
pounds.
absolutely.
Ride the
Ratbite's
spider.
tail is just vibrating, like wagging back and forth so fast it looks like a blur of motion. And anything that isn't his weapons and his dagger, he's just throwing to the guide without even looking to see if it's being caught or not, and then just bounding up on top of this giant spider. This is the best day of his doggy life.
I suppose I get to keep these items.
I mean,
Let's go.
they would smell terrible, but Ratbite doesn't care. He's like he's not sitting like a person. He's a gnoll, right? So he's like actually on all fours, but very, very low to the spider, just kind of like almost bracing, clutching onto furs. His tongue is out, he's panting, and his tail is just.
Amazing. I love this.
So we're gonna split the party?
No, well, I can't talk. I'm a giant spider.
Do not tarry, elvish guide. Come join me on this ride.
I don't have dealings with spiders.
Really?
Varanite follower, not a Loth follower.
Yeah, true.
Low-key freaking out over the spider here.
The spider turns and looks at you and like bats its little spidery eyes.
All 8 of them.
All 8 of them.
I hope you're not a follower of Loth. He's gonna, like, the spider's here, he's gonna be like, way back here, but he'll follow along slowly.
Perfect. I actually now have dark vision.
Excellent.
Nice.
And I am going to stealthily make my way towards the left.
The dice will see to that.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Try and be stealthy. But I have a +7 now that I'm a spider.
How far out does your dark vision go in spider mode?
60 feet.
Oh, okay, same, perfect.
Okay, so that's a 12 +7 is a 19.
Okay. And you said you went to the right?
Yes, to the whichever one the
The left, isn't it? The rot.
Left is rotten,
yeah,
right
whatever
is
This is the
whichever
one
silent.
that smelled
way
like-
the rotting one.
The left one. Okay.
Okay, yes.
So start going the rotting one. As you round the corner, or I guess you're silent, so it's more like.
Yeah.
You go into this hallway. There's blood splattered along the ceiling, the walls, the ground. And there's like lines of it, like things have been dragged. And as you get
How f-
deeper, you're that's only like 10 feet in.
Oh my. Yeah, just does any of it smell fresh?
No,
Okay.
it's old. It's dried.
Would Ratbite have any idea where a spider's ear would be?
Do the spiders have ears?
Make a nature check.
Okay.
This is the last time
That
I let
is
spider
a
burn.
big fat 5.
Well, you're gonna guess on their head somewhere.
Good. Then I would lean in close to the spider's head, not knowing where the ear is, and say, I know not to whisper to you, buddy, but these walls seem awful bloody.
Spider just nods, continues.
Okay.
Oh, well, maybe not. Spiders have an intelligence of 2.
You have
We're
your
screwed.
intelligence. You have
Oh,
have all
that's
your
right. I have my
intelligence.
intelligence. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yes. So I do nod as I keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I thought we were
The spider
so
turns
much
idea.
danger.
Well, let's see.
Spider realizes there's a dog on its back, freaks out.
Eats it, wraps it in a web.
Oh boy. All right. So you guys enter a room at the end of this hall. Here, where the hall meets the room, you do see some like rotting flesh. It's just like looks like a piece of an arm.
Look, dog, dinner.
Definitely belongs to a human, you would guess. Well, not definitely, but you would guess that it belongs to a human. In this room, there's a 10-foot high vaulted ceiling. It is made out of just carved stone, so it's definitely carved out of the mountain. At the back of the room, there is a large black marble sarcophagus that is propped up against the wall. It has gold flecks on it, and the lid is carved in the likeness of a dwarf king. Let's see. There are 10 glittering panels in this room, and they're all kind of arranged like from ceiling to floor. And it's just like shiny glass. So, glass that has kind of a metallic sheen to it. And they're just kind of like randomly stacked around this room. They're about 3 feet wide and an inch thick. Each one has like a relief etched into it of a dwarf warrior clutching a battle axe.
Well, let's find this king's hands and get out of here.
Spider
I
interested.
suspect that this dwarven tomb has some sort of deadly traps in this room. And Ratbite is still thrilled to be on a giant spider, but he's going to sink down lower, and he's kind of looking around. He feels very apprehensive.
As a spider, I'm gonna start climbing on the wall.
Ratbite
Right, it's gonna be
loses
hold
his
on.
mind with excitement. This is amazing.
Different is gonna do the one thing he is good at. Can I roll a perception check to see if he can discover anything in this room?
Yes, you certainly may.
You're very enthusiastic. I'm very frightened now.
Oh god.
Oh god. Come on. Oh yeah, it's a 19 plus 9. We're good.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he massively knows everything.
All right, when you come into this room, you see the sarcophagus, you see the glass. You also see that coming out of the glass is an axe, slowly but surely. Like the nearest piece of glass to your friends, there's like the relief in it, or etching, is slowly but surely like coming from being flat to being a 3-dimensional thing. and the axe is reaching out slowly but surely toward them.
Well, that's freaky. Is the axe alive?
It is moving.
Is something holding it?
No.
It's just floating.
Yep, it's just slowly but surely materializing out of this glass.
Who wants to grab it?
Where would it be in relation to us up on the wall?
So you're kind of up here on the wall, right?
Mhm.
And there's, pane of glass, pane of glass, pane of glass. The one here, right, so if you're looking forward, it's right over your head. And it's like
Oh Lord.
coming down toward Ratbite. Down, quote unquote, to Ratbite.
Is it possible for me to get on
How-
the ceiling and to avoid any of these?
You can, but you don't see it yet.
Oh, right.
Right, because yeah, we're both looking forward, so we have no idea.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. So if different tells you, yeah, you could do that.
There's a giant floating axe. Somebody grab it and see what happens.
I kind of like shake Ratbite and look up.
Ratbite would look up as well.
When Ratbite
How
looks
how
up,
fast is it moving? if I see it?
It's very slowly, but the blade is coming toward your face.
I would move aside and then try to take it and see if I can pull it out of the relief.
When you grab it, which I was just waiting for you to do.
Of course.
Yeah. When you grab it, the glass that it was coming out of
You
shatters.
gave a dog a stick. What was going to happen?
Yeah. Here you go. Here you go.
Here you go, buddy.
He's a good boy.
Fetch, get a stick. Get a stick.
Get this thing. No wonder you're extinct. So yeah, when you take a hold of it, the glass it was coming out of shatters, falls to the ground, and it pulls away from you, like it moves, like an animal. And it's this crystal. It's when you put your hands on it, it's made of crystal. It's a crystal axe.
Crystal axe, and it's
It's like flying. It's like.
yeah. I mean, as a character, Ratbite has no idea what's happening, so he's just gonna hold on to it all the tighter and actually probably try to pull it closer to him because it's trying to get away from him, and nobody takes a stick from a dog.
All right.
You only throw, you don't take it.
No take.
No
only
take,
throw.
only throw.
Make a strength
Exactly.
check.
All right. I'm good at these. That might not be good enough. That is a 16. That's not very good.
That
I
is
think
that
you
is
still
good
have
enough.
guidance.
Oh, that's right. I would still
No,
have
it
guidance.
only lasts
You've used
Actually,
it. You've used
Sorry,
it.
it only lasts for a minute.
oh, and you know what? We took that rest anyway, right? So like anything
Oh.
would have fallen off.
Yep.
Yeah. It is good enough. You are able to
Oh,
overcome it and pull it in toward you as it resists you, and you're just like holding it in place. But it's definitely still.
I want
trying to
it
pull away
more
from
than I ever did now. Like I have to have it now.
you. If you want, you can try to like bind it or something, but it's just gonna keep pulling at you.
We have a giant
Uh,
spider with thread.
Yeah.
Web the axe. Love it.
Butt thread.
I mean, if someone brings it up, I won't say no.
Right.
That's fair. Okay, let me see here. This winged thing we must quickly bind. Can you make a web from your behind?
Yeah.
You hear what you think might be the equivalent of a laugh and a nod, and very quickly a web is made on the wall next to us.
So I guess if I've got this thing grappled, I'm just gonna like huck it into the web, even if I have to put myself into it. I must have this stick.
Yep. You do somewhat get caught in the web as well.
Good. As long as this thing's stuck with me.
Relly, you know as a spider that you can manipulate web without getting stuck to it.
Yes. So as soon as the battle axe and Ratbite are caught in the web, I will turn around and like use my little pincers and everything to kind of like get rat bite out of the web. And then I will use more thread to completely like cocoon the axe.
Oh, I thought you said Morse thread. I was like, are you trying to communicate using web? Because that's amazing.
More thread, sorry.
And obviously, if she's going to communicate with us, we would just go with the Charlotte's Web route.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just right in the web.
So okay, so you wrap up the axe. When you do it, yeah, it acts like a giant fly. It just like it almost like brings something primal out in your spider brain because it's acting like prey. It's like
not today. And as soon as the battle axe is cocooned, I will again gesture at Ratbite to like hop back on, and we'll keep going.
Ratbite's gonna nod, and he's having the best day, like just the best day. So he's gonna take the cocooned battle axe and like splorch it up against the wall so that it's stuck and not going anywhere, and then just bound over and leap onto the back of this giant spider again.
Okay, you guys are able to get to the sarcophagus, taking that route. Divrin, do you want to go the same way they went?
Yeah, he's doing like a massive face palm, but he just follows along behind them because they'll die without him.
Of course.
All right, you get to the sarcophagus. It is currently closed. You can see detailed Dwarven King that you've seen in the frescoes on it.
Let's push it open and take his hands. I'm ready for my treasure.
All right, so you guys...
Before we do this unaware, perhaps we should set traps and be prepared.
Sure.
Yeah.
What she said.
The spider will start throwing webs kind of all around the room. And I'll stand on top of them.
Okay. I like it.
Perhaps
We fashioned ourselves a spider's lair. Our enemies had best beware. And Ratbite is frickin' like his tongue is out panting. He's frickin' just best day. I can't reiterate this enough. How good of a day he's having right now.
Okay, so Divrin and Ratbite, that leaves you guys to open the sarcophagus. What is your combined strength?
My strength is 12.
So add a 19 to that, and we're at 31.
All right. You guys combined are easily able to remove the lid of the sarcophagus. As you do, the pressurized interior kind of just like a little bit of mist comes out. Excuse me. And you hear a voice come from inside. And it says, "You dishonor our beloved king. May his tomb become yours as well."
Oh, that I think not.
All of the glass in the room shatters.
It gets stuck in the web.
Yep, I was gonna say, get stuck in the web. And crystal battle axes go flying at all of you. And they tick, 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 like get caught in the web, and they're moving against it. And they are slowly starting to cut themselves free.
The spider makes move faster.
Make more webs.
Okay, yeah, I will make more web kind of as they're cutting through. I will like
Try and trap them more, like cocoon them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's worked before.
Roll a d20 for me.
Natural 20.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Nice!
You're able to quickly cocoon them all. Just neutralize all of them, and they're all just like they just fall on the ground or stay in your web and just like lightly wiggle.
I'm so powerful. I love this.
This is definitely not how I saw you guys dealing with this room. Okay, there is no other way out, and whenever you look inside the sarcophagus, there are dwarven bones in there, but they are just bones. There's no armor or anything on them, and nothing inside.
Ratbite will like rip off a whole arm and start like gnawing on like the mid portion, and then like take the hand off and hand that over to our guide.
He'll put it in his pocket and then reach in and take the other hand and also put that in his pocket. At least we have the hands.
It's just bones. It's not mummified or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
How do the bones taste?
Stale. When you bite into them, they don't have that nice chewy texture you're used to. They're very brittle.
You know what? It's nice to have a good dry snack sometimes. Like that's okay. That's okay.
I'm going to look with all 8 of my eyes at the hands of the sarcophagus.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look like they can be detached?
Oh, the hands in the sarcophagus, like the front of it?
Uh-huh.
They don't look like they're meant to be detached.
Okay.
They're kind of just carved into the face of it.
Okay, then I'll leave them alone.
However, I would like you all to make a perception check.
Come on, Div. The one thing you can do, man. The one thing.
I rolled
got an
a
8.
3.
Oh no. Best guide in the Underdark. Let's see it.
Come on.
14.
Okay. As you guys are looking at the sarcophagus, you don't really notice anything about it. No.
14.
So along the right wall, the stonework is kind of muddled. Like it looks like repairs or something were made along that wall. There's like small lines of mortar.
I'll
Small lines of mortar.
over to it.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. Natural 17
Giant
plus 4 is
spider.
21.
Giant spider. Does whatever a giant spider can do.
So with your spider eyes,
Can
you
she
see,
investigate the weird ass wall?
you like blook, 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 and zoom in.
Enhance.
Enhance, yeah.
Yes.
Enhance.
Enhance. Enhance. Enhance. And you can see that there definitely is an opening behind this wall. You can just
I
barely
start
see it. through a
scrabbling
crack.
at it. Like a dog.
Ratbite will pull out the flattened spoon and look at it and look at the wall and kind of remember the picture and assume that that's what this is for, and then he's going to stab the wall with it.
Okay. Make an attack for me. Strength, yeah. Just regular melee attack.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a 13. I'm assuming I'm not proficient with flat spoons. So that would just be 13 plus strength, 17.
Okay, perfect. You jam it right in between, like in that nice little crack that's formed there through the mortar, and it just like breaks right through. You feel like you could maybe lever it against it, use it as a pry.
Okay. I guess I'll try that.
Roll strength for me.
Ooh, that's a 2, so 6.
You hit it a little bit and it jiggles. It kind of moves just a little
Frustrated, he's gonna pull out Shatterspike and just smack it.
bit. It smacks the wall. All right,
Smacks the wall.
when you smack the wall, like a chunk of wall just go like kaboom, like falls off, and you can see through like a head-size hole that there's another room.
I poke at it with 2 of my little spider arms.
If you give it a few more whacks, it kind of just like demolishes. You're able to get through the wall.
Where does it lead?
Yet another room.
Going. I feel like we're in a dungeon.
Oh, it's almost like you're in a false tomb or something. You go in here. There is a dais in the middle of this room, surrounded by 4 statues. All of them are of dwarven gods. I'm trying to remember which ones they are. They are Moradin, the god of creation; Baranar, the god of hearth and home; Clangadin, god of battle; and Marthamor, god of exploration. These are all common.
But the god of secrets isn't there?
No.
What about the middle one? The middle thing. What do
in
we
the
see?
dais, there is a sarcophagus. It is a perfectly cut slab of white marble. It has dwarven script in gold on it. Or I'm sorry, in silver. And there is nothing else around it. It sits on its lonesome, just like on this raised platform.
I suppose that's the idiot we're looking for. I have the wrong hands.
This place gives me an uneasy feeling. Perhaps we should approach from the ceiling.
Divern will levitate. He's not touching that dice with his foot. Not after the golem.
You guys are so smart. You learn so well. Okay, so you guys from above, as you get within about 30 feet of those statues, you hear a voice in your heads. It says, "Oh, hello there. So glad that you made it. Perhaps you could get into the treasure room. We're kind of stuck in there."
We are sort of stuck in where?
We're stuck in the treasure room. We're the architects of this place.
And dwarves are psychic since when?
Well, we've gained a few abilities over time.
How long have you been stuck in this room?
Since it was built.
Which was?
Well, about 250 years ago.
What sort of treasure do we have, and can we have some?
Oh, yeah, there's quite a few things in here. There's large shields and rare mummification herbs. What do we have here? Several adamantine weapons.
It's up to you if you want to go into the creepy voice room.
Spider is making nervous noises.
Listen, it's very easy. All you have to do is break open this. You see the statue of Mord in there?
Mm?
It's just break it open.
What's in the sarcophagus?
Oh, that's King Malaire.
I'm going. Mm-mm.
He has no treasure, though.
A voice in my head that is a stranger makes me believe that there is danger.
I, as a spider, I'm just gonna cocoon every single one of those statues. Just like, nope.
Those are just 4 giant nopes.
Well, certainly you could just break it down. Just one of you, please.
Let's just pretend we don't hear it and break into the sarcophagus.
Curse you to the depths, all of you! I hope you all die in this tomb.
We won't.
Another round of web. No.
Nope.
Our course of action leaves me elated, based on how quickly that escalated.
I'll tear your liver into bits and use it to make stew. I'll strip your legs of the meat on them and eat it.
Good luck getting out of the stone you're stuck in. Have fun in your treasure room.
You
With-
wait, Dark Elf. I'll be there at your deathbed.
The spider
In
points
another
down at the
230
sarcophagus.
years.
And it just keeps going on and on, just cursing you
Yeah.
and making all sorts of idle threats.
Points down at the
And another-
sarcophagus.
Let's just push it open. Push it open. Okay, we're pushing it open.
Okay, you guys can push it open. Inside, okay, inside is a mummified corpse of a dwarven king with a mithril crown. It is clad in burial robes and clutching a war pick.
A war pick.
Mhm.
A war pick. Ratbite has weapon master. Could I try to pick it up and like give it a couple of flourishes, like Devil May Cry style, to see if like it's a weapon I could use?
Sure can.
Cool. Do you want me to roll to see if I'm any good with it, or?
When you pick it up. So first of all, it's clutched in this thing's hands. So when you pick it up, it like is holding on to it, and you kind of stretch the hands out, and are eventually able to get it free.
Can I try to rip it off so the arms come with it?
Well, I was gonna say, as Ratbite stretches out the hands, I just take my pincers and go snip snip.
You get the hands.
Perfect.
Everyone's gonna replace the hands with the ones in his pockets. And...
All right, cool. So you get
Fair
the
trade.
hands. When you hold it in your hands and it's free of its master, you have this strange sensation come over you. You feel powerful, and you like kind of fling it around, and as you do, you realize it's like perfectly balanced, and it's really easy to swing around, and you're just like, this thing's dope.
This weapon's heft is awfully sprightly. In my grip, I feel so mighty.
Happy spider noises points to the hands.
Different's gonna take the crown since nobody else clearly wants it.
Ratbite will pick up the hands.
Meanwhile, in your heads, you still hear. "La, la, 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 la."
We leave the chamber.
I'll see you in perhaps another 230 years. Enjoy silence. As they leave.
You're going to die alone in the dark.
I certainly hope so.
As we leave, I just do one final thing of web. Fuck you.
As
then-
we leave,
I
kind of just pass out of the range of this thing's psychic radius, Ratbite would turn back to the thing, still like gnawing on the piece of the Dwarven King. The truth is, we all die alone, but I will do it in my home. And then turn and keep going.
As you guys are just exiting the reach, you hear, "Did it work? No."
They're gonna be in there for a long time.
That took forever. Okay. So there is nothing else this way, so I assume you guys are headed back to the previous dais with the black doors. Okay.
Ratbite would stop and snag the cocooned battle axe, the solitary one that was like splorched onto the wall. He's like unsplorching it, and that's now part of his loot, along with this beautiful pickaxe.
All right. As you're holding it, like kind of wiggles around.
That's fine. Fight it, carry it.
When you guys get back to the chapel, there is blood everywhere, and there are pieces of Dwergar all over the place. You also see some fresh tunnels.
I'm going to drop beast shape.
This is bad.
Perhaps
this
we don't
is
want to
very
open the
bad.
doors.
I think we should open the doors and then maybe close them behind us.
That sounds like a good idea. I concur.
Okay. When you guys get up on the dais, make a perception check.
Come on, Dev. It's the one thing you can do.
We're all gonna die.
Oh, God.
That's a 2 for rat bite.
15?
Hold on. Quiet, dog. Quiet. Perception. That's a 12.
All right. Relly, you're the only one who sees this.
Oh.
As you guys are approaching the door, way up high, you see a spider, a giant hand. You're not sure, but whatever it is, it's slowly descending.
That's a giant note. Please tell us so we can run.
Look up. I think it might be a spider. I don't know, but it's not me.
Yeah, it's a giant. Divrin's definitely jumping back. Get out of the way, you fools!
I grab Ratbite and pull him back.
Ratbite's very curious. He wants to know what the hell's going on here.
So you get away from the doors.
Yes.
We get away from the doors.
Okay, you go backward. Okay. You see this thing become solid, and a giant fist slams down in front of the door. And it's this giant golden like hand.
Oh dear.
And then it raises up again and opens.
Oh.
So perhaps if we hurry?
If we put the hands on the door immediately, maybe it will work.
It comes down again.
Time
Oh,
it.
It's timed.
Time it. How many seconds do we have?
2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds. So on the next one, as soon as it comes down, we need to get on the dais, and then you have like 5 seconds to put the hands on the door. Okay?
We
Here.
must move
Go.
awful quick.
Go.
Do it
I'll
now.
speak
Do
Go,
it
go,
now.
go, go, go!
Stay
Hands!
awful
Hands!
slick.
Who has the hands? Put them on the door!
Ratbite has the hands. You'd run and try to do it as best as he could.
So as it's coming down, you put your hands on the door, and the doors cave in and like suck you into it. You guys get like vacuum sucked in, and they shut. And you hear behind them boom as it pounds again.
Oh,
That was too close.
You are now
I grow
in,
tired of these traps. What I wouldn't give for a nap.
I would like a nap.
You're now in this dimly blue lit room. You can't tell quite how large it is, but it is like kind of ovoid in shape, and you can see veins of mithril all over the place. They're at your feet, they're on the ceiling, they're on the wall nearest you, and in the center of the room is a large symbol of Demathuan.
Oh,
He still has that he stole.
I still have mine.
Okay. You go up and touch it with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Unf-
As you get closer, it's kind of like the rock that the mithril is in is black. It's like jet black, and kind of set around the symbol are like large black boulders, kind of holding it in place. Looks like it's been there a long time. When you come up and touch it, it lights up, and kind of projects an image. And you see what looks like, well, I don't know. Have you run into one of these before? Make an Arcana check.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh boy.
Hey.
3 for Ratbite.
Well, I gotta check this.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Ooh.
13.
Okay. Divrin and Relly, you've definitely seen one of these before. Ratbite, you have no idea what the heck this is, but it's really freaky looking. A beholder.
Oh God.
Appears like a phantasmal kind of image of one and says, "Welcome to the chamber."
Chamber of what?
knowledge. And there's just like this like palpable silence every time this thing gets done talking in this room. It's almost like you're completely insulated from everything. And its giant blue eye, along with its little eye stalks, like just mesmerizes you. It says, "You have been found worthy by the king of the mountain to know such secrets. What is it that you wish to know?"
You first, bird.
Don't put me on the spot like this.
I'm still thinking.
So am I.
Rat bite.
No great knowledge do I need. I need only to fight and love and feed.
Then
Very
just
well.
ask.
And as Ratbite says that, you see the veins of Mithril light up with this blue energy, and it crackles and just and forms around him, and he's wrapped in Mithril for a moment, quite aggressively, and then it like kind of molds it around him, and it's almost like a bunch of tendrils, like just like forming it, and you are in full like full armor, and since you're a fighter, you can wear plate armor, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you have mithril plate armor from head to toe, and the pick that you're holding is like coated in the mithril, and it gets a little bit lighter.
Ooh.
It says,
Oh,
"You have been chosen to be one of the Knights of Demathawen. Rid this place of all evils that the Dark Wizard has wrought."
My destiny is rather odd to be chosen by yet another god.
you look amazing, Rat Fight.
Shiny.
Your vengeance will bring your death, but it will be an honorable one.
Presumptuous you are indeed, to think a thing could make me bleed.
Certainly would be more difficult now.
It's got jokes.
I grant unto you the boon of Dumathuin. And you see this like beam come from his eye, and it, boom, and it hits your head. And your vision suddenly changes, so that it has like a blue tint to it, and you can see through the walls of this room into the next.
Holy shit.
And it says, "Secrets will be revealed to you once per dawn. Nothing will escape your sight."
Bird, it's your
Ratbite
turn.
has no idea how to process this. He's just looking around everywhere. Like,
I don't know what to ask for. I do like knowledge. I like rare things. I like to study them.
It kind of narrows its large eye at you and says, "You indeed are a rare thing. Perhaps some knowledge of nature for you."
Oh.
And your spell book kind of floats up off of you, and its pages like flutter open, and he kind of just opens it, reads it for a moment, and then you just see these like tendrils of energy just like and strike the pages, and he gives it back to you and he says, The secrets of your order are known only to you. And he's put several high-level spells in there.
she actually does that. She gets her book and just
And then so your clothes become this like blue. They get lined in mithril, and the symbol that you have on your chest like grows and becomes like a plate.
Oh, I normally can't wear metal, but I think I can make an exception for this.
It is now part of you.
Oh, thank you.
Divrin turns to the other two. Plug your ears. And he takes a couple steps closer.
Tell me how to kill them.
No. I just want to be able to guide my travelers safely through the Underdark and learn what there is to know, while perhaps avoiding the wrath of Lolth and the priestesses.
He just like pauses for a moment as he's looking at you. I'm afraid there's no hope for you. No. Oh no, Professor.
And cut to black.
She got so excited. She
Ah, I broke her.
What rewards did she get? The world may never know.
May
There she
never
is.
No.
It was great. You're frozen, like you were like. You, Underdark dweller, you've done well, but you require more. And when he widens his eye at you, you suddenly like are struck with all these memories that are not your own, about all the locations in the Underdark that have ever been explored. And all of a sudden you have so much more knowledge about like different places in the Underdark. In fact, you know, you are aware of quite a few places in this place, in Undermountain. You suddenly have all of this knowledge. And he says, and you'll be needing this to face the horrors ahead. And the mithril kind of comes up and comes together and forms a crossbow.
Please God, let it hit things.
And it has this kind of like everything in here is glowing blue, right? This is a little like brighter, and like when stuff stops being manipulated, the glow goes away. This is still glowing when you're holding it, and it feels warm to the touch. And several bolts are like shoot up out of the ground, form together, bundle, and are placed on your person. Now that I've given you these, you must pledge your allegiance to Dumathawin and the secrets of the mountain. They are under your protection. If you should fail, more will be put in your place. But if you should forsake your duties, the consequences would be severe.
Divrin will accept.
Makes sense to me.
Kill evil things.
I see not what choice we have. I'll pledge my duty and be glad.
This giant toothy grin forms on his face, and he says, "Then the Knights of Dumathawin are once again reborn."
Sweet.
So cool. Holy fuck.
And you
We're
guys
so
are
awesome.
like teleported outside of the room and back into the hall that's full of bloody Dwergar parts, and the doors You see the face of the beholder as the doors are open, and then they shut once again, and see a blue seal go down the hinge.
Well,
And that's where we're going to end it.
Ratbite would puff out a sigh. I suppose there's truth when the old folks say every dog does have its day.
I love that one. No, I love Ratbite.
This has been the best day for Ratbite.
Different would be like, well, we have more rooms to explore.
works for me. Let's go.
Thank you very much, DM. That was fantastic.
That was so
fun.
awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm glad you guys had fun. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope that you will watch a little bit more. I think we've got 2 other dungeons left. Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and then we'll be starting a whole new set of adventures. Stick around and keep up to date with at Variant Rolls on Twitter. Variant Rolls is going to be showcasing a lot of stuff, and we're constantly gaining new players, constantly getting new DMs. Wonderful players like these, great people, meeting new people, networking. It's awesome, and it's a great place. I hope that all of you will watch more. I've been your DM for the evening. My Twitter handle is NoTweetSean. My name's Sean. Shocker. These have been my players. Y'all go ahead and sign out, introduce/outroduce yourself.
I'm Kate. You can find me on Twitter at KatesD8s. You can find me on Twitch and Discord at KatesandD8s. And I played Relly.
My name is Chael. You can find me on Twitter at Chael_not a mimic, because I'm totally not. And I played Divrin.
My name is Jesse. I played Ratbite, and you can find me as at JesseNeon on Twitter, and that's about it.
And then, sadly, Dylan couldn't join us. He was terribly sick. Jesse was almost too sick to play. So we almost lost everyone to illness. But Dylan will be on future streams, so stay tuned for him. With that, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Farewell, friends.